Hi, this is Mark with RawNutrition.com. In this video, I'll be comparing the brand new Omega Twin Gear Juicer, the TWN30S. So S for silver, for 30, I don't really know what that's for. This juicer turns at 160 revolutions per minute. So I'm going to compare it with the TriBest Green Star 5000, the Green Star Elite GSE-5000. So this juicer here turns at 110 revolutions per minute. So a few differences between the two. This one is definitely a more compact version, similar to the Green Power Kenpo juicer. In fact, the gears in here are like the same size, or identical. They're interchangeable with the Green Power Kenpo. Other differences: a 15-year warranty from the manufacturer, and the Green Star has a 12-year warranty. And I'll go open these up and I'll show you the main differences in the assembly. So this one is much like a single auger juicer, like the Omega 8000 series juicers or the newer NC 800 and 900. The gears in here are much smaller. So I'll open this up and I'll show you the gears. These are the gears, twin gears with the Omega TWN30. Over here with the 5000, you will see the gears, and they call these jumbo gears. So definitely jumbo, but the so is the juicer, very big on your counter compared to Omega here. So same thing with these, you line up the two dots and push them in. Now the other thing to note is the screens. These are the screens with the Green Star. You got the fine hole, large hole, and you also have a homogenizing blank that you can process frozen foods, nut butters, and things like that. With the Omega, you just have two screens, a fine hole and a large hole. There is no homogenizing blank. So it's not a fully multi-purpose appliance, it's really just a juicer, because you only have these two screens. I'll put these back together and then we'll do a comparison in juice yield. You got 2 pounds of carrots on each side that have been cut and prepared for juicing. So the Green Star, the 5000, is definitely, even though it has a lot of parts, pretty easy to assemble and much improved over the previous generation 1, 2, and 3000 models. This new one here with the Omega TWN30S is a little interesting as far as assembly. So you do have the same dots that you need to align. The one thing that's really important, and it's kind of weird, is even in my first video when I demonstrated for the first time, I actually put this thing in upside down. It actually fits either way into the juicer, which is pretty weird. Obviously a little harder, but it still goes in. So you really have to put this side up where the produce will be going down. Put your gears into that, and then line your gears into the back of the juicer. And a little temperamental, you do have to turn a bit and get that fully into it. Then you put on the end cap, which is in two parts. The end cap, which also has a control knob, and that you have to align the ends of your two gears, so you may fiddle a bit with this to get that on there. So a little more finicky as far as assembly, but once assembled, I got my two knobs here tightened up and put this extra juicing screen aside. So basically there you have it, ready to start juicing. Another note I find interesting is this fun little handle here on the TWN30. I don't know, it's the first time I see a handle just holding on one end. Very sturdy handle here. Most juicers usually have a handle that fits. This one has a kind of a soft movement here. But other than that, we'll see how it goes when we start juicing. So I'll start with the Green Star 3000, the jumbo gear juicer. Generally with twin gear juicers, you always have to push things in. It just doesn't gobble things in. You really have to push. So I find with the larger twin gear juicer, I've compared this one to like the Green Power Kenpo. I found that you have to push a lot less with the larger gears, and that's kind of obvious too. The larger spacing makes it easier. Definitely in this case, as I mentioned, you do have a multi-purpose tool here with the Green Star. You do have the added homogenizing blank, which is not with the TWN30. And you do have, when you get the 5300, you can also use the juicer to extrude pasta. There is a screen that you can put on the juice collecting bowl for the Omega. Fits right over it, and I guess same thing with the Green Star. You do have a separate sieve that you can put on top there. But for the purpose of demonstration, I'm just doing them without any screens or extra filters, just with the fine hole screen that comes with the machine. Something like greens, leafy greens, spinach greens would go in a little more easier than the hard vegetables like these carrots. Now the Green Star turns at 110 revolutions per minute. The slowest swing gear is the Super Angel, which is down to 86 revolutions per minute. Pretty much have met my pulp adjustment knob is tightened up all the way, so I am squeezing out the most juice that I can from the produce. Pretty much completed. There's a couple little pieces of carrots sitting on the twin gears here, but I doubt I can get that to go in. That's it, just a little piece left there on top. There we go, completed with the Green Star 5000. And let's start juicing now with the Omega TWN30. Not really louder, it does sound a little louder on my table here, just where it's positioned. And as I mentioned, it does require a little more force to push it in. The openings are pretty much the same size, 1.5 inches, but this one is round, this one is a rounded square. Just keeping some carrots on top there that don't seem to easily get caught up to the butter. But definitely the smaller your pieces, the easier they're going to be to juice. It does feel a little harder to push. Faster at 160, I don't know if it's making a big difference in time. Process. check that I do have my knob tightened up all the way. Seems to be injecting the milk pretty well. If ever you do see with either of these juicers opener coming out, you want to open that up a bit. Otherwise I keep it as tight as possible to squeeze as much juice out. Definitely don't want to overfeed. It just makes it harder. Doing one piece at a time is the easiest. But as you do know, I do need to squeeze if my piece is slightly large. It is a bit harder to push in. And generally I would say, common complaint or just what people find the hardest with the twin gear juicer is feeding it. The advantage is you are able to squeeze out more juice from your produce. Kind of approaching the end. That's a lot of carrots. This one could use baby carrots. They're already small. They would probably go from in. This is a bit more work to clean these up and cut them into smaller pieces. So same thing here, I am left with some produce on the top and I'm going to try to push it out like I did with the green star. Oh, pretty much the same. I'm left with a little piece of carrot still sitting on the top there. And our pulpful. Let me get these out of the way to do a comparison of the yield. Star does have a little drip tray. Pick up any drips. I can also, pretty hard to get the collecting bowl under there. Let's get out our measuring cups and see our juice yield. Yeah, I have 2 pounds of carrots on each side. You have to trust me on the quantity. It was pre-measured and weighed. I definitely have no bias to promote one or the other. Well, surprisingly, the new Omega TWN30 seems to have put out more juice from the same 2 pounds. But here we are seeing, always really hard to read these, and I'm sorry for that. Got here 14 ounces 14 ounces. And over on this side, I'm just a little bit over 13 ounces. So definitely a little more yield from this one in this demonstration. Obviously, you know, it can vary, but we're still looking at a 12 to 14 ounce yield. That's about 400 milliliters and 450 milliliters and about 400 milliliters here. So a little more yield in this juicer as far as ease of use. They both have to push on both. This one was a little bit easier to push in. Definitely a big machine. So Omega definitely has that covered in a more compact version compared to the Green Power Kempo. This is definitely an updated, more modern look with the stylish handle and the shape of the base. 15-year warranty too, so I mean I would expect this juicer to give good results. A little careful with the assembly, it's kind of finicky there, as I was mentioning with the screen that you can actually stick it in either way. Anyways, as I found in my first demonstration, I definitely wasn't able to feed the juicer with the screen set in the other way around. This is a little different too. This material is just a clear plastic. I'm not too sure what this is made of. Other models like the Green Power Kempo is nylon. Same thing in here, so everything around is a food grade nylon. So I don't know long term how this clear plastic will survive or outlast. But definitely similar to the material of the body here, and those are usually very good with the 8006. So it looks pretty well built, sturdy. And as I run some more tests, I'll get to know the juicer a little more. Twin gears are not my preferred juicer, just because they're a little harder. I would say much harder to use than an upright vertical juicer. A little harder to use than a single auger juicer. But if you're looking for higher yields, that's where you would look to a twin gear juicer. Also, they tend to produce less foam with leafy greens, and there you will really find them easier to use because you don't have to push those in as much. The two gears turning together will pull those in. Well, I hope you enjoyed this comparison between the Green Star Elite and the Omega TWN30S. Be sure to check us out online at RawNutrition.com. And again, this is Mark, and subscribe to our videos here on YouTube for more product demonstrations.